You ever wonder what makes a simple fruit legendary? Well, today, we're uncorking the story behind Nashik grapes. It's a journey from ancient soils all the way to global markets, and it's all told through a single perfect bunch.
I mean, it's not every day a fruit gets called the nectar of the gods, right? This isn't just some marketing slogan. It's a belief that goes way back, this idea that there was a kind of magic in its juice. It just sets the stage perfectly for a fruit that is so much more than a snack.
And that's really the big question we're diving into. How did this one region, Nashik, become the grape capital of India? How did it produce a fruit so distinct that it's actually protected by law? Well, the answer is this amazing mix of nature, human vision, and pure craftsmanship.
To really get the story, we have to start with the land itself, that unique combo of soil, climate, and geography that the French have a word for, terroir. This is the canvas where the masterpiece begins.
So the first ingredient in Nashik's secret recipe is altitude. The region sits at about 600 meters, or nearly 2,000 feet above sea level. Now this is key because most tropical areas are way too hot and humid for growing great grapes. But this elevation, it changes everything.
See, that altitude creates this really dramatic temperature swing. You get these hot, sunny days that build up all the sugars, making the grapes super sweet and juicy. But then, the nights cool right down, sometimes to just 7 degrees Celsius. That cool down is absolutely crucial. It locks in the acidity, which gives the grape that signature crispness and all those complex flavors. It's a delicate balance that you see in other world-famous spots, like California's Napa Valley.
And this right here, this is Nashik's secret weapon. See, most of the world's grapes are grown in a band between 30 and 40 degrees latitude. Nashik, it's an outlier, down at 20 degrees north. And what that means is its harvest season, from February to April, hits the global market when almost nobody else is harvesting. It gives these amazing grapes a stage pretty much all to themselves.
But, even the most perfect land is just land without people of vision. The story of Nashik grapes is just as much about human ingenuity as it is about geography.
The grapevine's journey to this part of India was a long one. It was first brought over by Persian invaders way back around 1300 AD. But it wasn't until centuries later, in 1925, that the modern era really kicked off, eventually leading to its official, top-tier recognition in 2010.
And the person who lit that fire was this man, Sri Ramrao Jairanji Gaikwad. In a small town near Nashik, he was the very first person to figure out how to commercially grow table grapes. He basically turned a minor crop into a major industry. His work spread like wildfire, and he earned the title Father of Indian Grapes.
Okay, so we've got the perfect land and a really rich history. But what about the grape itself? Let's get a little closer and see what makes it so special to look at, to hold, and of course, to taste.
Now this is a story about touch. Seriously. Forget about those giant harvesting machines you see elsewhere. In Nashik, every single bunch is carefully selected and snipped from the vine by hand, with just a simple pair of scissors. This careful, gentle process makes sure only the best fruit gets picked, and that it doesn't get bruised or damaged. It's all about quality over quantity. And the result is a total sensory experience. You get these beautiful cone-shaped bunches with these big, long berries. The skin is really delicate, and it's often covered in this natural, powdery white stuff called bloom. That's a great sign of freshness, by the way. And when you bite into one, you get that satisfyingly crisp texture, followed by that perfect balance of sweetness with just a little hint of tang.
This incredible fruit isn't just for eating fresh, even though that's its main job. It's also prized for making sweet raisins, world-class wines, which have earned Nashik the nickname Wine Capital of India, and of course that nectar of the gods, refreshing grape juice.
And that brings us to a really crucial part of the modern story, a promise of authenticity that you can find right there on the label.
So in 2010, Nashik grapes got a geographical indication, or GI tag. The best way to think about it is like champagne from France, or Parmigiano Reggiano cheese from Italy. It's so much more than a sticker. It's a seal of honor. It's a legal guarantee that the grapes you're holding have the true essence of Nashik, and nothing else.
So, what does that seal of honor actually promise? Well, it boils down to 3 big things. First, authentic origin. These grapes are 100% from Nashik. Second, it guarantees they meet these really high standards for how they're grown and handled. And third, and this is so important, it protects the local farmers from cheap imitations, making sure the legacy and the livelihood of their communities are safe.
So, after exploring the land, the history, the craft, and the protection, what does it all really mean when you finally hold a bunch of these grapes in your hand?
It means you're not just tasting a fruit, you're tasting his story. In every single grape, you can taste the essence of Nashik's unique soil, the cool nights that give it that perfect Christmas, the bold vision of pioneers like Mr. Gaikwad, and the careful, knowing hands of the farmer who picked it just for you.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. We've just unpacked this incredible story hidden inside a bunch of grapes. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? The food on our tables, it all comes from somewhere, shaped by a place and its people. So, what stories does your food tell?